Hey, Insiders, we've got a very special guest who's just come on to join us here today. Someone who's recently gone through the LMA course, also a WCA graduate too as well. And she's just going to be coming on here today to share her experience with how she honestly found the whole LMA experience and everything else in between. And I guess just to kick us off, would you just mind telling us your name, where you're currently based, and what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, my name is Susan, and I'm from Chicago, USA. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse surveyor, and that's it. I mean, there's so many things, so many other things going on after the programs. So,
Well, Susan, just want to say it's so great to connect with you here today. It was such a surprise on both my side and your side whenever we saw that we were connected today. And obviously, so much has happened for you. But let's say bringing it back to prior to signing up to LMA, right? What would you say was your biggest challenge that you were facing in your life prior to joining the LMA course?
sure. I've always been very, very interested in self-development, and I've been doing it for decades.
Wow.
So, I knew I was trying to figure out what I really wanted to do.
Mhm.
That would There was something missing, even though I was familiar with a lot of the various teachings. I didn't know how to implement some of them. And every morning when I'm getting dressed, putting on my makeup before work, I'm always listening to something to motivate me and to be ready for work
Mm.
and deal with some negative people. So one morning, Tim popped up, and it was in YouTube, and it's a short one, but my goodness, that short video, there was something he said. I can't remember what the topic was, but he said something it just really resonated, and it's something I already know,
Wow.
but the way he explained it gave me so much insight, and he gave the technique to approach it. So that made such a big difference. And it just so happened, I think he was offering the free LMA. So without even thinking, I just joined it. I was running late for work, but he just captured my attention. And so I signed up real fast. And, after attending that, the rest is history. I just kept signing up for LMA because it never stops. No matter how many times I've attended the sessions, there's always something new, which I thought before I already knew, right? But it just it gives additional insight,
Yeah.
and it's helping me approach everyday challenges because I'm able to pinpoint what I want to do. So that's a big deal.
Wow. Wow. And I know you said you've been a part of its community for quite some time now, right? But thinking back to whenever you were watching that webinar and you were on your way to work and stuff, did you have any initial hesitations towards signing up? Like, were you at a point of letting, like, skeptical mindset stop you from signing up, or was it a done deal for you?
I think I was already at that stage of my life where enough is enough. I've
Yeah.
spent so much time and money
Mm.
listening to so many not that they're not beneficial for me. They are. It makes me understand Tim a bit better also by knowing some of those theories.
Yeah.
But I didn't hesitate. I knew Tim was the person for me. There was something about him that just connected. He was serious and he was so confident in the way he presented his materials
Mm.
and right to the point. So, and that's what I wanted. I had no time to waste. I just wanted solutions to what I'm looking for, and he did that. So I didn't sit in the fence or anything. I just kept signing up.
Wow. And what made the LMA course like a good fit for you at the time of your life where you were in, Susan? Like what made LMA fit well for you? What was it for you?
Could you repeat that again,
Yeah,
Liam?
so
I'm
like
sorry.
so like where you were at your life at that point in time, what made LMA a good fit for you? What was the reasoning that you said, yes, this is for me right now?
Oh, it's because I've been through so much already in my life. I've had so many losses, and you know, I didn't know I had the resilience to really handle all of those challenges. They were really difficult times.
Wow.
So, and I think that's why I just kept going, learning and learning. And the more I'm learning, the more I'm thinking I don't know. There's so much more that I don't know,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
Tim, just his total program, his approach to the program, it just touched all of the senses, the way he's lecturing. At the same time, he's showing videos. There's music in the background. Um, he's telling you to he's moving fast, and then he's telling you to agree, say yes, so you're typing away. I mean, you can barely keep up, especially when you're new. Now that I've taken it so many times, I'm getting used to it, but it's still a challenge. But at the same time, I'm still picking up a lot of stuff each
wow,
time.
wow.
And I love the way he updates all his materials. And gosh, um, at the end, if you participated in LMA, I think at the end, either you're so excited because, yeah, I'm going to do it, I'll do everything he said, or you're drained because you really participated, and it takes a lot of work, right? So either you're going to get discouraged afterwards because you're not ready to, you're afraid to do that work. But uh if you don't go on, that something's missing, that you missed out on something, that that there's more work to be done. And so I think that's why it's so helpful for so many people, because it gives you insight afterwards.
Wow.
And it how sometimes you have that restlessness inside of you,
Yeah,
and you don't know what's causing it, you don't know how to approach it.
yeah,
Well, the program sheds light on a lot of these things, and it really changes you.
beautiful.
So
And on that note, then, what would you say is the biggest change that you have shifted in before you came on board LMA to the way you look at life now? How differently is your life now since going through the course? What would you say is the biggest takeaway?
well, my biggest takeaway is I've always been the caregiver, and so I know that I needed more time for myself, but could never find that time for myself. And so that's one thing I learned, is to invest in my education more, and to give myself more time, to take care of myself. And
And how has that
that's a big.
impacted your life? Has that been a positive impact and a positive change since doing that?
Oh yes. And especially, when I attended WCA, my thing was I never really uh the nature of my job, I have to be a leader, blah blah blah. But when it comes to myself, I was conditioned from very young
Mm,
not to really speak up. So that's what I'm learning, and that's what I'm continuing to work on, is to really speak up my mind.
love that.
So that's
And
a
you need to,
big,
you
big
need to.
thing
You've
for
got
me.
such a beautiful smile and a beautiful energy. You have to speak up. It's time, you know? What would you say, Susan? How would you summarize Tim as like a teacher, trainer, facilitator? What would you say about Tim?
Oh my gosh. I've participated in so many programs, but Tim just, he's so disciplined. And I don't know how he comes up with all his materials. I know it requires a lot of work. And I admire him for giving all that time and his dedication to all of us.
Mm,
So I call him the Renaissance man, because he teaches new ideas, and he's changing the world.
yeah,
So
beautiful,
what
beautiful.
yeah.
Thanks for
So
sharing.
excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. I mean,
Fab, fab. And I guess to finish up there, to wrap this up, right, Susan, you've gone through the course a few times. You've been a part of the few programs. Um, what would you say to people who are like wanting to change their life and who are wanting to join LMA, but like they're sitting on the fence and they're not really sure? What advice would you give to them people?
Oh my goodness, just give it a chance. You know, he has free offers. I would just take that offer, because you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at how it'll change you, and you'll go on from there. You'll
Yeah,
know what to do once you experience it.
yeah,
So
beautiful.
yeah,
And
and
I
and
think,
and
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I think it helps a lot of people also, realize how worthy they are, and there's a lot more to do, for them to do.
Mm,
There's a reason. And so and there's so much for them to contribute.
yeah, beautiful. And I just because I really feel inspired to ask you this question, just the final question before we wrap it up here. Susan, if we had everybody in the world tuning in right now, if we had billions of people tuning in and they were listening to you and you had 30 seconds to give one message to the entire world, right? What would your final message be in having everybody in the world listen to what you could say? What would you say?
There's a purpose for everybody. And so sometimes we need that little nudge to uh, make us realize what it is
Yeah.
and to give us the courage.
Mm.
So this is one program I can really truly recommend,
Wow.
since I've been through so many already,
Wow.
that works. I
Wow.
mean, it'll change your life.